Hello everybody, welcome back to Aurora 4X. So just another update. I realized something after I recorded the last episode. And what I realized is that I had accidentally designed the super heavy Titan with, so the original version I've obsoleted. Oh wait, I can show obsolete here so you can see it. So this is the original one that I designed. Where is it? Shaft Titan here. So remember, it did have 2 super heavy anti-vehicles and 1 H-cap weapon. And I mentioned how it was maybe overkill, but then I thought for RP reasons it would make sense to bring it. But then I decided to optimize it a bit better and to have 1 super heavy anti-vehicle and then 1 normal heavy anti-vehicle. And the reason that is relevant is because as long as we're shooting 40-40 tanks, which are like medium tanks here, which is what we saw they had, the half is going to be just fine. The super half is just a waste of space, basically, because as you can see, this whole thing is 32 units lighter, which means we can pack more other stuff. So we went with 1 super heavy anti-vehicle, 1 heavy anti-vehicle, and then 1 H-cap. But the real reason I designed it is because I forgot to set the armor on it. In the design screen here, when I had designed it, I went like this. I selected the weapons, but I forgot here to bring it up to super heavy vehicle armor. I just left it on light vehicle armor. So that meant that our vehicle had only 20 armor, which meant that all the anti-tank rounds would automatically pierce the armor. Now, they might still fail the roll on the HP, but still, there's no reason to not have 90 armor if you can get it. So anyways, we had to redesign the Shav Titan. And as a result, I kind of canceled all the recruitment that I had started in the ground units. They were only at about 18% trained, which is still significant. These things take a long time to train. But anyways, that's that. And so we've redesigned the mech infantry deployment and the armored assault deployment. They now have, here, I guess I can show them to you, the newer versions. So the armored assault now has, these H-cap infantry are just for filler. There isn't a lot of them. We've got heavy modern assault tank, is most of the detachment. Then we've got some heavy FFD tanks for forward fire support, and a couple of Shaft Titans. And then in the mechanized infantry, we've also got a handful of Titans, a handful of tanks, and then just a bunch of H-cap. Okay, so that is that. In other news, we came in to the VA system not too long ago. We came in with this small detachment of leverage class missile destroyers, and you'll notice their ammo is at 80% because we shot 1 volley of missiles and we destroyed the Pantaleev that was in orbit. And now what we have done is we took all 15 of our current dropships, filled them up with all the remaining ground troops, that had survived the attempted invasion of the Aeolian system, loaded up with some extra drop troops. So you can actually see here we've got, like, this is whatever. We got all our ground troops that we can carry, and we are going to go and see if we can invade this colony. I was delayed a bit because I forgot I had to bring a jump tender for the 30,000 ton commercial ships, which is one of my salvage ships, which is acting as a jump tender. So anyways, we got that done. And incidentally, we also moved the forward station to this waypoint here, which is much closer to the jump point, so it's easier to refuel and to rearm and do continued missions there. And it also happens to be along the way from Bridgia, which is where we're coming from. So this is just better in all respects. Okay, so let's do this. I've got the orders to move in to about 400,000 kilometers. That should keep us out of range of the beam weapons, of the beam STO weapons, that is. And after that, we're going to make a run for the planet with the dropships. Now, the dropships will get shot at, but they have a lot of armor, and hopefully it won't be a problem. We've got... Oh, I've actually got... So I ordered the construction of 2 new Intrepid class ion frigates. We haven't built any of these in a very, very long time, but it's getting to the point where I'm kind of waiting on like the results of some surveys, and I also want to let me oh, sorry, I clicked that wrong. I wanted to detach this one. I want to move this one here. One of the things I want to do, actually, maybe the first thing I want to do before I start, there are some mineral surveys that I wish I could get done sooner, but what I actually would like to do here is actually go ahead and do the grav survey for the alien systems. So in particular, the Solian system, where is... Oh, I think it's blocked because it's blocked from the auto list because I set it as like a restricted system. But we can give the orders manually. So let's get the grav survey done for this system, and then you can come and do the grav survey for the VA system, but we're going to have to give that order manually, which is fine. VA. And let's start tracking down all the systems where the aliens are. Because, I mean, we met them in the Solian system. Who knows? That might not even be their primary, that might not even be their homeworld. We certainly have that contained. And we have this colony contained here. But we need to sort of root them out and at least figure out how many, systems they have spread to. Because although we're building up the capacity to take out that large colony in a Solian, which could be their homeworld, doesn't mean we can't take out these smaller colonies in the meantime. I'm just looking over here to see if anything important was built, because we have to do a few 5-day increments here. We're going so slow because the dropships only go at 1666 kilometers per second. Nothing yet. Okay, let's do a bunch of 1-day increments. I think the other thing to mention is we have a salvage fleet, which is scrubbing up the Solian system, and it's been salvaging some of the alien vessels, and from that, it's been able to determine, some of the tech levels that the aliens were using, and they're certainly ahead of us in tech. They're ahead of us in tech now. So you can imagine how far ahead of us in tech they were when we were fighting initially. One of the surprising things is we got an indication that they have magnetoplasma engine tech, which is the next engine tech after ion. But if you'll recall, we started... oh, wow, we just... we zoomed right in there. That was perhaps a little risky. Let's see, the ETA is like, wow, we're there. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to detach the fleet. Not the whole fleet, we're going to detach the dropships. Here they are, they're already in their own subfleet, convenient. Movement orders, VA A2. Oh, we need to make this a colony. Orbital drop. Okay, let's see how this goes. All right, the time... I'm going to go like in a 5-second increment here. All right, so there's an interesting thing that's happening, and I don't know if this is a bug or if it's intended behavior. I'll have to go look up in, the bug reports. I haven't looked at them in a long time. But we know there are STO elements on the ground. And we know they shoot because they shot my military ships, but for some reason they never well, they didn't shoot these drop ships, but remember last time they also didn't shoot my whole fleet when it was in orbit after I had cleared every other thing that was in orbit. And to me, that's weird because obviously you'd want to shoot down the dropships as they come, right? Now, is that because they can't, like, it's supposed to be that STO have their own like sensors that are able to detect things within their own range. So maybe that's something that is not working as intended. I don't know. It seems a little weird. Anyways, we're in the VA system here. It appears as though we didn't get... I brought a second divisional command here, and we didn't get it for some reason. That's okay. Even though this command here only has leadership for 100k, which is enough for 10 deployments here, we're going to just, I think, jam everybody into the same division, because that way everybody will get slightly, you know, the percentage will be slightly reduced. But I think it will, I think it'll be worth it. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. Anyways, I must have misclicked it. So let's see how things progress. So this combat typically happens in, I forget, I just did this not too long ago. It was either 3 or 8 hour increments. So let's go and do a 3-hour increment and see if I was wrong. I was wrong in the sense that it did not pass. So it is an 8-hour increment for ground combat. So we'll do another 3, and then we'll do 2 1-hour increments. And that should get us there. Okay. A lot of text. Okay. Estimated hostile forces. We estimate that they have 323 infantry units and like some AA mechs, and that's it. So very small deployment. And it looks like our armored deployments have achieved breakthroughs and are also pressing the attack. So if we look, let's look at the ground attack summary. So we have, it's interesting, why are we not getting, why am I not getting the rest of this? It feels like there should be more to this message. Let me, hang on, let me just close this window, open it up again. Because I'm not getting... What if I increase the number of events here? Is that going to help? No. Out of curiosity, show all events. That's weird. Let me just pause and see if I can figure out what's going on here. Okay, well, I moved forward in time like a 5-second increment. I guess they just didn't attack us. It's possible that they were not in a, like, they might have been in a support or rear echelon formation or something like that. So they're just not doing an attack round on us, in which case, I mean, I won't complain. Let's move forward another 8 hours. Oh, well, so in summary, we killed some Centurions. We killed some PD and an AA mech and a STO infantry. In fact, we've learned something about their units. We learned that they have STO and STO PD, and we don't know their stats. We just know that we killed some of them. Oh, this is what I was talking about. So we know some of the technology they have based on salvaging that we did. And that includes magnetoplasma, as well as pretty long beamfire control ranges. So that's pretty good to know. Okay, let's move forward in time 8 hours. Here's the second round. So our scouts were a little bit off because now we think there's more than there were before, but that's okay. We're shooting at them some more. Let's see. Ground attack summary. We killed 32 Centurions, 14 STO, 4 resupply, 2 STOPD, 2 Decurion AA mechs. Now, element loss. It says loss 0, so I don't know why it mentioned that. That's a little weird. And we've learned a little bit more about the alien types. We know that the STO is static and has an armor strength of 10. So far so good. Let's keep going. Okay. Here is the next report. Now we're estimating there are 200 Centurions left with a handful of other elements. Also, now not only have the armored divisions had breakthroughs, but the mechanized infantry divisions also had breakthroughs. So your chance of a breakthrough is increased if you are more mobile, which is and also by being on a forward attack, which is what's happening here, which is why the armored deployments are more likely to break through. If we look at the ground attack, looks like, oh, that's so weird. So the estimates of the number of Centurions have been like, 200 to 300. We got 400 last time. In this round of combat, we killed 615 Centurions. So the estimates are way off, which is an important thing to know for like taking off the big colony. Like that's off by like 50%. Okay, we did lose a couple of tanks here. We lost 1 heavy assault tank and 1 medium half tank. Okay. Maybe in the next round we'll take I was going to say we'll take a closer look at the combat, but these are the same, this is the same ground fighting tech that we used before. So, these shots, this is the same thing. Like you can look at the matchups and you'll see. Okay, let's see. We killed construction vehicles and Praetorian leaders. We lost nothing. Oh, apparently we got a construction cycle or something. Okay, let's do another 8-hour increment. I think that's got to be most of the ground troops here. Okay, enemy forces on Va A2 have been defeated and the enemy colony has been occupied. Really interesting. Okay, so Va 2 has been occupied. Let's actually see what that means, what that looks like. That's actually something I have never done. Oh, it's interesting. It's showing up as a listening post. Because I guess there are 2 deep tracking stations that we took control of. Interesting. Let me first... Okay, so there are 2 colonies here. There's my colony, which has... The political status here is imperial population, meaning it will be mine, but it's a completely empty colony. All it has is my ground units. And if we look here, there's nothing. There's just nothing here at all. Civilian. Let's actually check quickly the environment here. What kind of planet is it? Colony cost of 1.9. The temperature's a little hot, but there's nice water and a tiny bit of oxygen, mostly nitrogen. Okay, but now if we look here, this is the colony that we sort of conquered. And you can see here it says, actually it literally says political status conquered. Now it says species human, but also population 0. So I guess we just conquered it. Like there was no population here. There was only a bit of a signature, and it must have been due to the fact that there was an ordnance transfer station here and a deep space tracking station, which was generating those readings on the colony. Incidentally, there are also located here, looks like there's some stockpiles. Yeah, we have a bunch of, we were able to capture a bunch of their anti-ship missiles, which is pretty cool. So we should take a look at some of those. I wonder if we can see them here. Possibly not, because we can't build them. But I wonder if we took one of them back. That'd be a cool thing to try. If we took one of them back to a lab and like disassembled it. Like, I wonder if we can, like, I can't load them onto my ship, right? Because I don't have, because I can't tell my ship to have that as part of its ordnance loadout. I'll have to think about that. Anyways, this was a shorter episode. I wanted to show that off, show that we had done this. So we're going to come in here with our survey craft. We're going to survey the system, and we're going to follow the aliens. I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave maybe like a mechanized infantry deployment on the planet. And we're going to pick everybody else up, get them back onto the drop ships, and we're going to head back to the Workser forward base and chill out there with the fleet being maintained. And we're going to survey this and perhaps go through to another jump point. And if they have any more small colonies like this, and this feels like a good-sized Navy detachment to be able to handle those types of encounters, and then a nice-sized ground force to come in and clean up afterwards. So that's it for now. See you guys later. Take care.